What's up, gamers? Your boy Beastgamerkuma here with our personal thoughts on Wild Hearts. This is our review. Playing on PS5, so keep that in mind. And other than that, yo, let's get into this. You start things off in the world, a fantasy world, of feudal Japan, in a nation called Azuma, where you have to go around helping out the townspeople, fighting off these monsters called kimono. These are unique monsters that have different elemental abilities, look like plant-based monsters, as you can see visually, where you just have one called the Rage Tail that has a blossom on its eye with a type of bud on its tail, or its cousin, the Spore Tail, that has a fungus for a tail and causes sleep paralysis, sleep and stuff like that. Well, this is a unique and interesting way of fighting the elements, as each monster will have their own style, especially when they cause a rage in a situation in the battle. They'll blossom a tree or cause an environment to change, especially the Frost Wolf, which is the Death Stalker. Oh my god, that wolf was just so annoying, so very annoying. But I digress. The town of Minoto needs your help. As always, you are the savior. Keep that in mind. It's always the case though. It's always this one lone hunter that has to save a whole bunch of people that hardly give you any ounce of help. It's the same trope that we have to deal with all the time. And this is no different. Keep in mind, as you go out through the world, you will have to survey. You'll have to lay down camps, forges, dry stock, racks. Everything in this game is all about the camper's life, and the way you replenish your health is with H2O, which is quite interesting. This is a weird game that teaches you to be healthy, and it makes me laugh. He was like, you haven't drank your water yet? You're gonna drink a lot of it now to stay alive. But I'm jumping ahead. So, you out in the world, you have to hunt down monsters. You gotta find a weapon that suits you. And there's a variety of weapons to choose from. You have the basic katana, your bow, your hand cannon, hammer, staff, and claw blade, and last but not least, the Wagasa bladed umbrella. Each one of these weapons has a different form that you have to unlock as you fight. And there's a nice skill tree where you have to find the right path that suits you, because you can go either big damage or you go elemental damage, or try to mix the two. It's the best part of the way to find your own way of doing things. And that also coincides with the armor, where you have a different type of balance area. Either you can have balance armor, you can go red mask or blue mask. Blue mask seems to be more about defense, while red mask is more about attack. Now, there are three different phases of the armor. You got the regular forge, which is your basic armor. You got human path and kimono path. The human path is the blue mask, which is more defense, while the kimono path is the monster path, which is more offense. I went the kimono path with my armor set because I gave me deaf ears, because you're gonna need that. But again, that's just my personal preference. It goes up to you. And once you go around the world of Azuma, different areas, setting up different camps, there's different things called dragon pits in the area that is very important for you to level up, because that's how you gain your resources. The resources in the map will determine how much you can build and siphon, because you have earth, fire, air, water, and you need all those elements to be leveled up in each map. And how to do that? Well, there's different levels that you got to do it with. Hunting monsters, gathering materials, and depending on the materials that you need, it depends on the level that you want to max it out to. So as you grow higher in the levels for the dragon pit, the more resources you can build up on. Also, strategically plan out where you want your camps to be at. So far, when I played with randoms, I've seen some smart choices by having campsites at areas that monsters will respawn at or gravitate to. Sometimes there's a limiter, like I could think of the max I would put camps on a map is 4. And then to traverse the map is also easy. Once you put a camp down, you can fast travel, or you can use the vines. Vines are a fun way to zip between different areas of the map. Strategically put them in nice places to help you traverse better. Also, gathering. Yeah, I'm running through this like crazy because, like I said, this is a raw review that I just want to try out. This is something new. Just keep in mind. So, gathering materials between vegetables, meat, and other spices that help you build up for your food sources. Your food sources is what's going to help you win in battles, because without eating, you're a sitting duck. I mean, you could win without eating, but it's not really recommended, just to say. And that's where the cooking comes into play, where you have the dry rack, then you have a pickler, a fermenter, and then a smoker. Going down the line, you'll dry first, then pickle, then ferment, then smoke, depending on what you want to do. The stronger you do that, the powerful the food that will be, and you'll have to gather a lot of food because it takes a lot of resources just to go through that process, where at the end, with the smoking process, you'll get one item. Keep that in mind. Now, the regular base food can give you a boost as well, but you're going to have to eat a lot of it to gain up the health that you need or whatever kind of buffs that you want. While doing the fermenting process, that whole process, you'll make better and buffer food. It's actually quite cool and gives users that extra simulation ability, which is nice. Also, sometimes your materials like your armor and weapons will need other materials from different animals, which you can gather around the field. Like the little critters, you can run past and pick them up, and then you can make a cage or a pen to put them in, and after a certain amount of time, I would say 1 or 2 hunts, you can go back and collect the materials that they give off. This is all intuitive to be the best hunter that you can be. Now, when it comes to combat is freaking amazing. The choreograph in the fight scenes, or the choreograph for any weapon that you use, is fluid and phenomenal. My favorite weapons so far have been the katana, the claw blade, the umbrella, and the bow. Those are the 4 that I'm going to be mainly talking about. The katana is your base weapon, it's the balance weapon. Every hunter will start off with this one, and it has a meter. Pretty much, once you build up that meter and it's maxed out, you can hold down R2, like I'm talking on Xbox, R2, square or X to unleash your chain whip. It's a bladed whip that puts on massive damage and goes into a nice combo. With the katana, you have square and triangle for your regular attack and hard attack. Freaking beautiful weapon, beautiful abilities, highly recommended to start off with to get yourself a good feel. Then, you want to get more technical? Claw blade. My personal favorite that I have been maxing out as of right now. It gives you that attack on Titan feel. You want to feel like Levi fighting Titans? This is the weapon for you. Now, there's been many videos talking about this, boasting about it. It's kind of broken, but it works really well. It's not broken unless... I don't like to use the term broken, because a weapon is good as long as the user is good. And so far, once you're in the air and you do a claw attack to latch onto this nice line that can go through almost anything, you are in the air until your stamina runs out. And that's where you can do flurry of attacks, dodge perfectly, and get in and get out as fast as possible. This is that versatile weapon that is nice for air and land combat because you get a nice dodge ability on the ground. And when it comes to dodging, if you time it right, you hit the circle button to dodge, you can dodge almost any attack if timed perfectly. But going back to the claw blade, it also has a meter burn. Once you max out the meter, you'll have an orange or red glow. You can also hear that chime, execute the claw, latch on to the enemy, and do your combos. You got a vertical and horizontal attack. You're pretty much a flying Beyblade. And you can end your finisher with triangle to go into a super blade attack that ends in an anime style cross section, which is beautiful. I love it. But then it comes down to my other favorite, the Wagasa bladed umbrella. This is a beautiful weapon. This reminds me of the longsword in Monster Hunter with the parry attack. This is your parry weapon. The window is kind of small and weird because it does a spin parry that will raise your meter up to max. There's 3 meters. There's the green, the orange, and then what? Green, yellow, and red, I think? Yeah. Once you max that out, you can do different array of combos, especially one where you spin the umbrella at the monster like a range attack, and it causes big damage numbers. You want to get that meter as fast as possible, especially when you parry. That's the quickest way to get it up, and if you do it right, you could do a parry on the ground and in the air. It's very versatile. Love it. But there is a con to it, which I'll get into the bad. Other than that, weapons use at your leisure. You want to have fun, big damage, go for what you feel. And you got a skill tree to go in and figure out the path that you want to take. Now, you have assist weaponry, where it comes into Tsukumo and a Katakuri. Tsukumos are these little robot creatures, look like balls. You can hear them out through the map, you collect them, and build up the cogs that you can wait to upgrade them, where they can assist you, attack, build up your thread, and heal you. Now, thread is very important. These are the resources that you find in rocks, trees, or from monsters. These is what you're going to use to build your katakuri. Now, the katakuri are these erector set Lego style things that will help you in battle, especially in co-op or solo. You'll have a box, accordion, spring, torch, and anchor. These 5 things can build up bigger items, like a wall, a spring wall, healing mist, celestial shields, just to name a few. All these things will help you in battle, especially the ground trap that shoots out 4 big anchors that'll latch on to a monster to keep them still. And that way you could do a bigger attack, like with this freaking cannon that shoots a Kamehameha blast that does a lot of damage, depending on where you hit them. It's beautiful. So katakuri are very important, and depending on how you upgrade your Tsukumo, you can have as much thread as possible. Now, when it comes to damaging the monsters in combat, that's very key and important. There'll be these glowing green areas. You're going to need these, especially as currency for your other skill tree for your katakuri that you can build up with that. Now, as you break apart pieces and open up certain wounds, you can latch onto the monster by double jumping and then hitting R1 to grab the monster. Once you grab the monster, you'll get an indicator for L2, which will stick your hand into that wound and pull out all that celestial goodness. Either it be parts or the orbs. You need all that. Trust me, when you see that glow, you're gonna want to jump on that monster and just like, give me that glow! It's fun. It's a fun mechanic, and I think that was a smart idea, especially when you want to actually put visual damage on monsters, and it's lovely. I love it. So far we've been cutting off tails. Certain body parts definitely show visual, and it's a beautiful effect too when you cut off a body part. It grows a nice garden for you, so you can indicate that you have to go there and collect it. And danger cards are a thing. If you have friends having danger cards, then good on them, but still. Nice green area shows up where you left the piece, and I advise you to don't leave the area until you get that piece, unless it's like an open mission that you ain't got no time limit, because the part will still be there. But yeah, going into time limits, by the way, you got 3 strikes and a timer. So either your timer runs out or you die 3 times. If you fail 3 times, then you have to just restart it all over again. It's not like Monster Hunter where you get killed and your rewards diminish. No, they give you a 3-strike rule. You can revive your friends while you're in combat, because that's actually key. They don't get carted away. You have to get to their body and stop them from resurrecting. So get to their body, and if they die, it's kind of finicky. Usually after your first down, it's a slow meter. Second time, that thing will go fast. So you got to run to their body immediately when they go down, or that thing will just run out fast. It's not giving you that many chances. The game will really be like, you playing too long and you're messing up, so you got to go. But other than that, yeah. So we covered the combat, we covered the visuals, we covered the different areas. Yeah. Managing your build. So far, you get these currency of coins that you can go to the shop in Minoto and sell to this lovely merchant, who you can buy other materials if you need to. But honestly, I don't really buy materials from her because you can find out in the field, unless you're that desperate you need to do something right now. In Minoto, you can build your camps and stuff like that as well, collections, anything you want, or vanities. It's up to you. But like I said, those take up resources, so be mindful what you build. Let's get into the bad. So, besides having crossplay, which is the best thing ever for this game, and so far it's been semi-flawless with no lag issues or dropping out. The problem is that 3-player co-op kind of diminishes it. I feel like 4 players would have been best. Also, when it comes to the combat, building your katakuri and using certain weapons, the lag can be an issue and cause you to mess up a build. For example, you build a katakuri and the imports don't get in, and you end up messing up that build entirely. The best part is somebody can come in, destroy parts of that build, or help you finish it off, which is a cool feature. But when it comes to like the wagasa, the bladed umbrella, parrying is kind of difficult when you're in a group, because like I said, the lag will mess up your parrying and timing, so be mindful of that. Other than that, that's my only gripe with the game so far, is the not having 4-player co-op and the lag situation that they need to definitely fix with some of the issues. There are some glitches, but nothing game breaking because I actually just transport myself out. I had one glitch where I was stuck in a house, but I was able to just transport myself out and call it a day. Not too bad, but yeah, as for the bad, that's about it. I can't think of nothing else bad for it. So, let's conclude this. Right now, Wild Hearts, I have defeated it after 60 plus hours. Great experience, great combat, especially the ending boss fight, which I'm only going to tell half of it. This is, it's a spoiler, but you get to fight this big celestial dragon that is like the Avatar that changes forms. And honestly, I had to solo it because I couldn't get nobody to help me with it. So I said, screw it. I soloed it. Big deal. But then there's an extra boss fight that I'm not going to talk about. I'd rather keep that as a secret for everybody to find out, and you're going to love it. But as of right now, between going around Minato and Azuma, gathering, fighting different enemies between Fume Beaks who are poison, Pearl Beaks who got water damage, even different chickens and the celestial beings like the Golden Tempest, which is a wind tiger, and its counterpart, the Fire Peacock, all came out to a beautiful game and a beautiful experience. And I give Wild Hearts 4.5 out of 5 beastly paws. This game is definitely worth a buy. If you have EA Play or Game Pass, you can play a trial. With EA Play, you get 10 hours. This is not sponsored, by the way. Or in Game Pass, I think they give you up to an hour to play, but you can always try it out and see for yourself if it's the right fit for you. And you can play with anybody across the board. Xbox Series systems, PS5, and PC via Steam, and I think Epic. But sadly, there is no previous gen version of this game. I know, honestly, we have to move on. Everything can't come out on the previous gen. They're trying to move forward, and that's what happens. But other than that, thank you all for checking out our review. There will be a full write-up coming up later on with this video, so definitely check it out on Beastgamerkuma.com. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see y'all for the next review. Thank you for stopping by. Beast out. Rejoice, I'm alive. I look badass.